is, man.
Look, we crowned by the king. He making connections. He building his team, connecting the dreams. Lock in on the vision. Gotta believe. Be about his business and you'll receive. Yeah, we crowned by the king. Yeah, we crowned by the king. Yeah, we crowned. Had to get to work. Had to stop all the chit chat. Too many talents, can't waste them. Yeah, that's big facts. Making kingdom moves, standing on business like me, Shaq. Aiming for our goals, click clack. Moving forward, no need to reach back. Tell me where I need to preach at. Tell me where I need to speak at.
All right. Episode 30 of the CROWNEDCAST Podcast. Again, always with me is the incredible Mr. Joel Emgulu. My name is Joseph Honeysett. Welcome back to the CROWNEDCAST Podcast. If it's your first time joining us, we're blessed to have you. If you're a repeat viewer, we appreciate you. We love you. Thanks for tuning in and valuing what we have to offer. My brother, episode 30, how are you feeling?
Man, we are excited, man. Electric, bro. This morning, I'm blessed, highly favored, but episode 30, bro. That is wild, bro.
That is 30 weeks. 30 weeks of consistently posting. That's crazy to me, man. Like to think that we, not that we got here, but like we're just doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
what's up, Soul Seeker?
No, for me, I'm just excited, bro. And I'm like, I'm not shocked because I knew we could do it. But it's more of like that, you know, like, man, you know, businesses, ministry, when you start like ups and downs, sometimes you're like, man, is it even worth it? Let's just take a break and and then usually never come back. Honestly, man, we've been just consistent, just pushing through. And so I'm not shocked because I know how you are, you know, I am. And so I'm just like, dang, God, we're here, you know?
Yeah, it's not like a man, it's crazy to be here because like we didn't think it was going to happen. It's like we have that mentality, we're going to do it, but it's crazy. Just we're 30 weeks into it, you know, like that's a blessing. And we've had our ups and downs of like, now it's a discipline, you know what I mean? Like it's a discipline to post because we do it regardless of how we feel. Sometimes we're like, all right, like, let's like maybe take a week off, take a couple weeks off from recording because we want to deliver the best product. We want to have the greatest experience with our guests, man. And so it's been a journey, even in just communication and getting better at that. You feel like from being a podcaster, your communication overall has been like improved to like some degree?
Yeah, 100%, man, because you learn how to be adaptable. You learn how to pivot when things there's the awkward silence where it happens in real life, but also on podcasts, there's the awkward silence, like, oh, what do we say next? And some people can get like really weird about it. But when you're doing podcasts, you learn how to really pivot and like, okay, let's transition to this part now. Let's talk about this. And so, yeah, my communication skills overall has helped out a lot, but really learning how to pivot in those awkward moments is like pretty much learning how to be an MC almost, you know? Like learn how to make people laugh, or learn how to change whenever people get quiet, you know. And so that's something that a lot is my overall speaking, you know. So I'm blessed.
Yeah, a lot has happened in the last 10 weeks, from our last time that was just you and me on the pod. A lot in the world, like not just like a lot for Crown, but like a lot in the world. I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think? Like, what's your temperature check for the world and like what God is doing? Maybe like end times predictions or things like that. But just like what God is doing overall in the world that you've seen in the last like handful of weeks or last 10 weeks.
Man, I mean, just like pretty much these are birth pains, man. Jesus said whenever you start seeing earthquakes, flooding, like scarcity pretty much happening, those are birth pains, beginning of the end times, you know. And so I've seen a lot of those just happen, natural disasters, the flooding that happened here north of San Antonio, man, all the political stuff happening in you know, Middle East. It's getting pretty crazy, man. And I just see guys trying to wake his people up. It's almost like a last minute cry, like, hey guys, girls and guys, wake up, I'm coming, look at these signs, you know. And so people are becoming more aware of that, and people are just going back to the gospel now because everything they've tried is not working. And then pretty much God's proven them that the gospel is real through all these disasters. And so for me, I don't get shocked whenever my sister or my mom will send me videos or things that are happening. I'm just like, man, I'm not really shocked because like we expect this as Christians. We kind of know when it gets closer like this, like God's coming back, but he wants his people to shine. And so now it's more urgent than ever for ministries, businesses to actually do it the right way, actually grow, because we're running out of time where, hey, if you haven't started yet, if you haven't like attempted to do any ministry or whatever God's called you to do, it's gonna be hard to do that because, man, I just feel like they're putting a cap to certain different industries. You know, AI is coming around now. It's getting more and more serious. You know, the Trump, he's passing that bill that's helping AI and all this crazy stuff, man, that's happening around the world. I just see God as like, hey, my children, wake up. And if you know his voice, you know that that's what he's saying right now. So, man, I can go a lot deeper into a rabbit hole of like specifically, but that's pretty much what God is doing throughout the world, is trying to get his people to like, hey, whatever I called you to do, like you need to step into it now.
So do you think a follower of God should be worried, peaceful, like ambitious, like crazy action? What do you think, with everything going on, like how should they move, right? Because, you could take that and with everything that's going on in the world and, depending on the type of person, their mindset could look at certain way, right? Like, what do you suggest that they do with, with things getting harder for Christians, people of faith?
I would say the first thing to do, I think the first thing to do always is to pray and spend time in the presence of God. So I think God will answer everything that you have. And so I feel like God is speaking a certain way. And for you to understand exactly what he called you to do, you got to spend time with him because he's trying to speak to you. Because like as it gets scarcity, what if he tells you, hey, I want you to start this new opportunity in a scarce market or in a saturated market? How do you know, like, oh, that's what I need to do? Or God, it's not making sense because everyone's doing it. I'm too late. But like, if you're not spending time with God in the presence, then you don't have that confirmation. You don't have that confidence to do that. If you're starting a business, man, if things are getting scarce and like things are getting tight in your business, you got to go back and spend time with God because God's going to reassure you to either keep going or for you to pivot. And so right now, I believe like the first thing to do for Christians right now is really to spend time with God because he's speaking in a new way. Old wineskin is breaking. God is doing a new thing. And for you to understand that, you must be in his presence. Same thing with Jesus, man. Like the priest didn't understand that he was coming doing a new thing. He understands a new wave coming. Why? Because they were in tune with God. Some of his disciples, some of the people that were waiting for him, they understood that the way he would come. And so whenever Jesus presented himself, they weren't scared. They weren't shocked because they were already ready for it, right? Why? Because they spent time with God. And so I think right now it's a time for Christians to be peace. You're supposed to be a light. You're supposed to be like the salt in the world. So whenever the world's getting scarce, people are panicking. You're supposed to be like calm and be like, hey guys, we're going to be okay. We're going to make it through. And then people are going to look at you and like, how are you okay? How are you comfortable in this scarcity? Well, you're spending time with God all the time. And so now whenever things are getting chaotic, you have peace in that. And that's what we're called as Christians to be like, be that lighthouse, be that beacon for people to be like, I need to run to that. I need that. I need what you have. I'll buy that. But everything stems from, hey, spend time with God because God is speaking differently right now.
Man, yeah. Of course, that's always a thing. Like I used to be one of those, I'd say, believers that like, man, I didn't want to die, bro. I didn't want God to come back, man. Like
I ain't do nothing yet.
My life didn't get popping yet. Like God, let me get popping first, then you can come back. Let me get a little taste of it. But now, like for me, I don't necessarily fear that if it doesn't come in our lifetime, right? I'm excited to just do the work of the kingdom, man. Like honestly, like that's been like my biggest motivation recently is just like, all right, God, like this is all literally for you. We're just vessels. Like, let's make it happen. And what happens in the meantime, like we're going to get persecuted, man. Like that's our path as believers. Like bring it on. You know what I mean? That means we're moving in the right direction, right? Like we go through seasons of ups and downs and we get attacked, right? Like there's spiritual warfare going on. And it's like, when we recognize that, and we should get excited about it because that means we're moving in the right direction, and it only gives us an opportunity to be stronger. But I think I look at the world situation, right? Everything going on, right? Like people making predictions and stuff like that. I treat it as like just kind of background noise. It's just kind of like with politics and like the government, right? Like I think it's good to be informed, keep your ear to the streets, but at the end of the day, you need to worry about your own house, not what's going on in the White House, right? Because you can actually change what's going on in your house, right? And if you're not where you want to be, and all the aspects that are important to you, whether it's health, wealth, fitness, family, whatever it may be, if you're not in operating in those areas, well, guess what? It's not the end of the world yet. Jesus isn't coming back yet. Like, work towards that so you can go and be an impact when things get worse, right? As things get worse, that's an opportunity, right? Entrepreneurs, we get paid to solve problems. Hey, more problems in the world. Guess what? We have a great solution, right? And if you put kingdom business and you put the kingdom in front of that, well, guess what? We have multiple solutions, right? Because we got the word, the truth, and the light, and that can make anything better, right? So that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, man. To piggyback off that, like I don't know, man. I just get frustrated because when it gets scarce, man, all like the billionaires and millionaires, they understand like, oh, this time to invest. This time to actually pour into what I'm starting, what I'm doing. So marketing dollars and like spending actually goes up for those companies. Since I do marketing, man, I talk to a lot of different businesses. Everyone's struggling. So if you think you're the only one struggling, don't think that every industry is struggling right now. They're not where they want to be. And so people always slow down in marketing. But I was talking to these two different businesses. They were like, man, we don't slow. When things get like this, we actually pour more into our marketing budget. We actually pour more into our business because, man, everyone is holding up, but we're going to push it out forward. Why? Because whenever things get steady again or things get back to a little bit normal, you're thriving now. And those people that are holding on are trying to get back to where they were, and they never do. And so that's how businesses fail. But it's crazy that billionaires know this technique in secret, but like Christians and people who are just trying to make it or starting out business or ministry, they're struggling because they don't understand that component. And so when things get scarce and things get like crazy, like how you said, entrepreneurs, we're paid to solve problems. So put yourself out there and market yourself, man. This is a time where you got to go forward. And so I believe God is like, that's another reason why guys wake up the church, they wake up his people to like, hey, wake up. The time is getting scarce, but I want to bless you guys. But I need a vehicle to bless you, And so create that ministry, create that business, or if you're already in it, push forward, like put more into it, And so it's like a secret that I get frustrated because they know it. And for some reason, Christians and people who are just like the middle class, we don't know those tendencies or those secrets,
Absolutely, man. It's funny. It's funny you're talking about that because, like there's this moment of like, what to do, even when it's uncomfortable, right? Like there's that uncomfortable moment and you're like, do I keep pushing forward regardless of the results? Or do I take a step back so I can go and be a little bit more recharged and rested? And I was thinking about this morning. I was on a 5-mile run, and towards like the back half of my run, like I literally started thinking about like, there was a point where in my mind I was like, all right, I'm starting to get tired. Let me slow down so I can like finish the rest of the way strong. And then I had a second thought, and I'm like, why would I think like that, right? Like, why wouldn't I just lean in to the fact that I'm uncomfortable, keep the same pace, and like that actually be the my turning point, right? Like that's where awareness comes in, right? Like I started to think about like alphas and like leaders and like true winner mentality. It's not like, when you're in those moments of like uncomfortability and you give yourself like, all right, let me just kind of chill for a second and let me get back to it. It's like I'm uncomfortable and I'm still going to push into it and lean into it even more. Like making that decision, I think, does more for you than just like, oh, I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to slow down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, I mean, exactly, man. I mean, it's like every struggle moments in life, whether it's physical or mentally, like you deciding to press in is what's going to help you. But it's all at the end of the day, it helps more of your mental. It helps more of like you reassuring yourself that you can do it. And so now whenever you're struggling again, you're like, bro, I've already done this. Like a quick example, like the ice bath. My mom, bro, she hates that stuff, but she tried it. Well, there's 3 different levels when we go. And bro, she was at the 3rd level by the end of the day. And it's like, Mom, when we first came, you said you couldn't even do it. But when she was like, I got cold, I was suffering within those first 2 minutes. But after I just locked in, it became easier and easier. But she came back again because she realized that, hey, I already done it before, I can do it. And so like now for you, man, whenever you're running those miles and you're going to get to a point again where like, I want to slow down. You're like, man, last time I just did this. Let me just press in, and it reminds you that you can do it. And so, man, I love it.
Yeah, man. So, because, at the end of the day, you're going to benefit the most, like you're talking about with those businesses that, are like, this is a slower season, but we're going to push into it. In fact, we're going to do more than what everybody else is doing. You're going to benefit from that because, again, you're leading from the forefront. You're doing things that other people aren't doing. And I truly believe by just that tactic alone, you're going to win over other people because you're giving yourself other opportunities that other people are not willing to give themselves.
Yeah, I agree, man. And that's a great way to pivot, man. Speaking of more and opportunities, I do want to highlight this business. So this episode of CROWNEDCAST.
Hey, go ahead and pay them bills, bro.
Let's pay the bills,
man.
So this episode of CROWNEDCAST was sponsored by Sapphire Lawn Care General Contracting. Ready to transform your home inside and out, from lush landscaping to solid concrete work, stunning remodeling, fencing. Sapphire Lawn Care General Contractor does it all. Licensed, bond, guaranteed to beat any written quote. Get your free estimate today. Do not wait. Text or call 210-578-1388. Again, 210-578-1388. Sapphire, where quality meets affordability.
Hey, let's go. I love that. Hey, shout out to our sponsors for the podcast, man. It is dope that, people are wanting to believe in us, and so they see the value and they want to be a part of that. That's so cool, building that community and that support system. For what we were talking about before, and with, some mindset, like uncomfortability, getting outside of your comfort zone. I know like the last handful of weeks for both you and I has been like a challenge in kind of like all areas, spiritual, like relational, physical, right? Like just gone through like a whirlwind of things. And, in those times, like I think you're able to reflect the most and know more about yourself. But like, in these last couple of weeks, while keeping your pedal to the metal, like what did you find out about yourself that you haven't like really paid attention to, whether it be something that like, hey, I need to be better at this, or like, hey, like I'm actually really good in these areas. Like, have you uncovered anything for yourself, and like if you did, how?
I would say, for me, I'm a man that I usually tend to juggle a lot, and I'm the middle child, so I have a lot of like things that people pull for me, and I'm used to managing it, and I can do it. But I would say the last couple of months, man, it's been literally me forgetting things. I never forget stuff, man, but I think I'm just getting older, maybe. But me forgetting projects, and like people remind me of things, and so it's been harder juggling different things, especially with building out Crown and having a couple events a month, and then doing the podcast, and also even with our new clients. So focusing on Crown, focusing on my day-to-day business, and then focusing on the philanthropy work that we're doing in Africa, because that's been growing a lot. And so having to juggle all those things, I just realized, man, I'm gonna go crazy. Just like how Moses was kind of trying to handle everything, and then Jethro, his father-in-law, was like, bro, you're gonna die doing this. And so that's kind of what God highlighted to me, man. Every day you're gonna be burnt out, you're gonna be miserable, and then you're gonna start hating the thing I called you to do. And so I've learned that, hey, man, you're not the guy. You're not everything, And it was humbling, but I realized that I had to say no to certain things. There's some things that are opportunities that were coming up that I've always wanted to do, but I just realized it wasn't the right timing. And so me just experiencing burnout, tired, fatigue, I started realizing that, man, I cannot do what I used to do anymore, as far as like managing mentally, managing like 4 or 5 different hats at a high level. And so now I'm like, okay, well, God, you humbled me in that point, in that aspect. Let me just say no a few things. Let me hone in 2 or 3 things that you actually call me to do, and that you're providing for me. And so I don't know. It's just humbling, man. I've learned it before, but but I caught myself saying yes to some things again, getting back into that routine of like doing a lot of things and not really moving forward, you know? And so that's one thing I really learned is like, man, you're not the guy, you're not the way you used to be. As a matter of fact, you're going to get older, things are going to change. So you got to get better at time managing and just time blocking. That's something I've been trying to do, but that's getting to the point where if I don't do it, I won't be successful or things won't move. And so it's like I have to time block now.
Yeah, literally, man. Like we got a lot of different things moving like at fast pace, and like you literally have to create boundaries around your schedule. Otherwise, you're gonna, you drop the ball like that. And that's been an awesome like growth period for me too, just because I don't think I've ever expanded my capacity to the level that I've expanded it these last 2 months. And I'm grateful that I can kind of relieve myself of some of those things. But even in that, like, it's great to recognize, like, all right, like I'm not a superhero. Like I can't literally do everything. Like I have great intentions and I tell people yes, and I want to be able to do them to my best of ability, but literally I cannot. And as we're building, like we just got to get better and better and being more refined at that, so we can deliver on the greatest product that we're providing, but also deliver on the relationships as well. And literally having that high level mindset of setting up boundaries behind the relationships that we create, help, and build with. Because if you give your time to everybody, then you have no time for you, right? And we want to do life. We don't want to hustle, right? And there's a difference. So it's been it's been interesting learning that as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah,
and I'm a disciplined person. That's the thing. But when you get so you wear so many hats, you can literally become undisciplined by being over disciplined.
Yeah, man. No, that's exactly what happened, man. It's like I try to be as disciplined as possible. I'm usually punctual, but it's just like when you wear, it'll catch up to you, man. And when you were younger, I don't know, man. I feel like when I was like early 20s, bro, I could like do all that and then still have like smile on my face and still be energetic. But now I'm like, man, this is killing me. I need some. Bro, I used to make fun of people who not make fun of. I used to be like, man, why do you need a day off? Why do you need a spa, man? Is it life that stressful? I'm over here doing all these different things I'm balancing. But I was 25 or 26.
That's a young boy mentality.
And now I'm over here. I'm like, bro, like I had a massage the other day. I was like, bro, that was one of the best feelings ever. I needed it. Like mentally, I didn't think I could need it. But yeah, you just get older, man. God humbles you and you realize that you can't do everything and you must like say no. You must have boundaries, have balance. And so that was a huge check for me. But what about you, man? I mean, I feel like you've been going through a lot this last couple of months too.
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off what you just said, like if you're young and you're listening to this, like I wish we could combine the two, like, you know what I mean? Like where we're at right now, just being disciplined, refining that process, because like through that you get better at like being more efficient with your time. You work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
But if I wish I could go back to like 21 and like take that mentality and apply it to the energy level that I had at 21. Like, bro, like I would be AI. I wouldn't even need chat. Like, I'd be firing on all cylinders, But for me, to answer your question, I've learned a lot, man. I think forgiveness and like literally leading in humility has been the season that I've been in. Not that like forgiveness has ever been a hard thing for me. Like I'm a firm believer that like you apologize like for yourself, like to like why hold a grudge, right? The Bible says not to hold any grudges. So forgiveness, I'm good at. Like I'm good at being the first one to admit that like, hey, like I may have led us down the wrong path or whatever the situation may be, right? But forgiveness when people like do you wrong and do you dirty, that's like the verse of Jesus saying like turn the other cheek. Like I've had to experience that recently in the business world, and um, I never thought I could be there, right? Like when somebody literally, kind of bends you over and screws you over, um, but you forgiving
Yeah.
and just being at peace with it. Like doing business as a Christian and leading with values, morals, and integrity. It's a challenge for sure, because like there's pride and ego and involved. But that's been one of the greatest things that I've experienced, is because people are in your life for a reason, season in lifetime, and good and bad. Like you're supposed to get something out of it. If it's good, like hopefully it attributes to your dreams. But when something bad happens, it can attribute to your dreams and get you prepared and mold you to where you actually need to go, right? So like, yeah, those situations suck, but they mold you for sure. They change the way that you think. And like for me, I'm an accountability person, so I always look at like, okay, how did I let that happen? Like how could that not have happened? Like what did I need to do to get better, right? And so yeah, just grace, humility, and forgiveness has been my biggest thing. But like I was telling you, like I felt like I lost my edge, like just I'm a big grinder, in the sense of like I do have a lot of energy, even at 32 years old, right? But like it was abnormally, just like I was just in just a funk, and just couldn't break out of it for a while. And just for me, I told you, one of the challenges I did to just get myself out of just that weak mindset was, I did a physical challenge for myself where I ran 24 miles in 24 hours, to where every 4 hours I ran 4 miles. And I did that for 24 hours and it sucked.
Man,
But
dog, you're wild, bro.
I pushed myself to a point of understanding where my mind, like I took myself to where my mind was like literally couldn't get me to keep on going, right? And so I found out where my ceiling was in terms of like pushing myself, which was great. Like it was great, got me reset, and I'm back. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man, it's tough, man, because business itself is tough. But as a Christian, man, that's we're called a higher standard. And people think Christianity is about love, which it is, man. You're supposed to love your neighbor, love everybody. But man, it's about that forgiveness, man. How much you can forgive is the true mature. When things happen to you, like, how much can you let it go? And it's not just about forgiving the other person. It's about like having peace with it. Like you said, like, you know what, that hurt, but God's got something in store for me. I'm gonna learn from this. I shouldn't let this happen, but I'm gonna learn. That's the true forgiveness, man, because you start building that callus. And I think everyone goes through that in life, but whenever you're a Christian and a businessman, you will go through that like almost weekly, so to say. But
yeah,
it builds that emotional callus, and man, it's a blessing. Like it's the good fight, that's what they call it, the good fight. Because it's like every day you must renew your mind. You must, hey, you know what? Let's forgive. Let's let let's let yesterday go and let's focus on today. And so. It's not easy, man, but I love it. I appreciate every day because it helps me grow, and God's with me, and it teaches me so many lessons. So we're blessed.
Absolutely, man. It is a blessing. Like I said, like it's just learning, it's just molding, it's just refining. But that, like, I feel like that's something that we should definitely teach on or talk about sometime, is how to be a savage in business as a Christian. Right? Like, because it is cutthroat. You do have to be on your P's and Q's, and people will take advantage of you if they see an opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how to be a savage in business as a kingdom entrepreneur, I think that would be something great to teach on, because Christianity isn't just about like forgiveness; it's also about strength, right? And if standing for something, standing and living and not performing, but operating by a certain mode, right? Like there's certain character traits that like we're supposed to possess as we lead as Christians, man. I think that would be super dope to mention. But I want to go ahead and pay some bills again, my brother. This episode is brought to you by Elevated Tax Strategies, which is a trusted tax firm in San Antonio, Texas, specializing in complex scenarios like cryptocurrency, real estate, and high income filings. They deliver proactive tax planning preparation and bookkeeping to minimize liabilities, ensure compliance, and fuel growth for businesses and professionals. They are America's most responsive tax firm, which means you can hit them up at any point in time and they will hit you right back. And they are incredible brothers that we have the opportunity of knowing. So get with Elevated Tax Strategies. If you're in the United States of America, their phone number is 210-610-2727. Again, that's 210-610-2727. Let's get back into it.
Get back into it, man. I got a question for you, man.
Yeah.
Tell me something that's in the last, like, since we started the CROWNEDCAST, tell me something that shocked you. Like something that's like, oh wow, even just the whole network, not just the CROWNEDCAST, but the networking events, our client now. Tell me something that's like, man, this really shocked me, and God, I can't believe you did that this quick.
Man, good question. I'd say and start with don't ever put people on a pedestal, regardless of results. They're no different than you, and you won't believe that until you actually get around people that like are deemed successful in your eyes. So that's number one. Never don't put people on a pedestal to like devalue what you have to bring, right? Because I think also too, like people they're like, oh, I'm not famous, I'm not known. And so when they're around those types of people, maybe they like withhold something that could like really open them up to a whole new community or opportunity because they spoke their mind, right? Like get around those circles and those people and really like show out, like deliver on who you are and what you do. Because you never know who's going to buy into you. If you get that buy-in factor, it has nothing to do with results, because if somebody that's more successful sees something in you, believes in you, well, guess what? You can get put on. That's why Drake, that's why Lil Baby is Lil Baby, because Drake hopped on a Lil Baby song, and now Lil Baby is now Lil Baby, right? Like you get the help from the top so you can get brought up. Just how there's a need for what we're doing with kingdom business and expanding the kingdom by elevating the standard in which we do business, by helping kingdom entrepreneurs increase their business. Most people really don't have it going on, and I knew that beforehand, but social media like just kind of plays a lie. Right? Like people just don't, they don't, right? And I'm not saying I do, but I also don't portray it.
Right.
But and even when I do, I don't think I will portray it, because to me, like, it's not about that. We're just impact minded. And then thirdly, just how willing successful people are willing to help you. Like
exactly.
The amount of help that we've had with every aspect of what we're doing is absolutely incredible. And mind you, we've paid for help. We paid for coaching, but we've also gotten a lot of free help of people just doing it off of the strength of like the kingdom. Like, hey, like we're going to do this and we're going to make it happen. And like, you don't worry about anything. Like the amount again, I have to repeat this because the narrative in the United States of America is successful people are selfish and they hate everybody. And like they want to control everything. It's not always true.
Yeah.
Okay? There are bad people out there, but the amount of people that are Christians and non-Christians that want to help us and have helped us has been absolutely incredible. And for me, it just showed me the power of not using in a negative way, but partnering and collaborating with people to a whole nother level, right? Like I truly think if somebody has a business idea, like from now until Friday, like you can build the most incredible business by just having other people help you in whatever that looks like. And I wish we did that in the beginning, like we did it all by ourselves, which is awesome. But if you can get other people to help you, you'll grow faster. And like, that's just it, point blank, period.
No, well said, man. I agree 100%, man. The collaboration is what makes people grow. I mean, if you look at like the top major corporations, they only got there through collaboration, And then they were probably the small dog and the big dog collaborated with them, and now they're both big dogs, And so I think that's what's important when you got to go give back. A lot of times people have the stigma of like once they make it, they're like, oh, they got to figure it out themselves too, because I figured it out myself. But that's not really the case, man. God probably used what you went through to bless, like to help you as first, but also it's going to help others, So you got to realize that giving back, and no matter where you're at, success is not a money thing. It could be, hey man, you're a really great connector, and that's like what your gift is, right? And that's what you're successful at, right? Well, like pour into other people that need it and connect them. Like use your gifts to help others, And that's what we're here for. So I love it. I love that you say that. I would say for me, bro, like, man, we've been talking about coaching and consulting. Like you've done it before. I've never done it, but I've talked about building a business for that, building something that's structured, and I've tried it. But I'm surprised that through Crown, God was like molding this. We just started out with throwing events, then we had the podcast a couple months later, and then now we're talking about creating like coaching, consulting platforms and something, offering that to people, right? And so my biggest shock is the fact that, first of all, God did it without us like kind of focused on it. He just did it himself. Second one is like how easy it was, man. Like we met, like we didn't have to sell anything. We just met with Ramon and we talked about our vision. He saw the vision and it was like, I'm in. And so that day really like hit me. It was like, man, this is what we should have been like. We should have been doing this a while ago. I feel like God kind of like confirmed a lot of things through that. And so it was a huge shock for me, man, because it was so easy. It was so smooth. We even had our first call last week. And so I'm excited now to like even our event this coming up week to like highlight that, shout that out, because I believe that there's businesses, there's ministries that are looking for that. We have the solution. So it's just confirmation, man, but I'm really shocked at how easy and how smooth it was.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's definitely cool to see, and I don't want to say I'm shocked by it, but just the amount of community that we're building is so honestly humbling, and there's a lot of responsibility with that. But we're building a kingdom movement, right? A kingdom global movement, and it's starting, and we're not even at a year, and we have so much support. We have so much just belief and buy-in factor from incredible people, and like for me, like that's like I'm humbled by that because I know it's only going to grow, and like I don't think we're special in any way. I think we're just vessels, but it's so cool to be able to deliver on impact. We got our first couple clients here, and being on coaching calls and like having those types of conversations is awesome. Teaching for impact, teaching for change, teaching to create a better life. Like to me, that is when we do that, like I'm living my dream life, right? Like I'm a full-time entrepreneur, and I get to so important to other people while expanding the kingdom of heaven. Like I'm literally living my dream life right now. And so, there's a burden with leadership, but it's so cool, man. It's just so cool that we get to do this. Like we don't have to do this. We get to do this.
Man, and then last summer, this time, bro, we were just talking about it, man. We just like, okay, we're having our first event this fall. We're going to talk about how it looks like. And so it's just crazy, man, because last summer, I think we're just hanging out by the pool, and now we're kind of doing we have a whole network, man. We're over 350 members and subscribers with us, man. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's and that's one thing that I actually learned through these last, I guess, 30 weeks. And man, I know Jeff was on here earlier, Jeff Cobars, man, like I always think about you in our conversation about decision making, because that's probably one of the things that I never valued in the sense of like how powerful that is, in the ability to be decisive, regardless of right or wrong. Like that's a whole different conversation, but being decisive and knowing why you're being decisive in what you're choosing, and being quick with it, right? Success takes speed. And literally I try to implement this as much as possible, from our conversation with Jeff, and that's why I'm so grateful. Like, I feel like you've changed my life in this manner, but like being quick and acting, right? Like we literally, Joel, you and I, we had a whole conversation last week around breakfast, around our business model. And by the end of our business, our breakfast, every aspect of our business that we're going to do was already ironed out. How it looked like, events. And we did that in a breakfast meeting, right? It wasn't like, hey, this is a good idea. Let's just kind of think about it and think about ideas. But no, like we had breakfast and we literally got it done. And I've even implemented that even with Anna's business. In the med spa world, like we had a conversation literally yesterday morning as we're getting ready. She's like, hey, I think I want to throw an event. I want to do like, chemical peels and facials and partner with, another service to where we're both hitting it. And then we had another conversation that afternoon. I was like, hey, babe, that was a good idea. We need to be decisive about this. Like, we need to put a date to it, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. All right, cool. Let's get it done. Why are we going to wait on it? What do we need? Right. And like, we finished it through, right. We were decisive about everything, but we acted fast. And so, now we have this event planned, and like, we thought about it yesterday, and it's going to be, based off our schedule in 2 weeks. Right. So that's so important. And I look back as I learn like the value of certain things. Like, we all know we're supposed to be decisive, but the value of being decisive is super important. And like, I look back on our journey, and like, we could have been more decisive. Like you said, last summer, we were just thinking about this. We were talking about it, but it took until October for us to have our first event. So, you leave things on the table, you leave money on the table by inaction, right? The cost of inaction outweighs the cost of action, right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to say on that.
Nah, I love it, man. I appreciate you, Jeff, because man, I'm telling you, these guys impacted us more than they know, man. So him, Kevin, all those guys, man. So I'm just appreciative, like, they pouring into us, man. Life gets busy, man. Life gets real busy, and man, we gotta continue paying more bills. So let's do this. Speaking of getting busy, Help My Life Cleaning. They're a commercial residential cleaning company here in San Antonio. And so when life gets too busy to clean, Help My Life Cleaning is there to make your home sparkle, reliable, professional, stress-free. Today, book your first appointment at helpmylifecleaning.com, because life is too short to clean it all yourself. Again, helpmylifecleaning.com. Book for your first appointment. You will love your house the way it looks. It will leave your house sparkling.
Man. So getting back into just our conversation about like coaching and now setting that up, man, like, how do you feel about this as you step into like that new role, that new responsibility of leading and like delivering on results for other people? How do you feel about that?
I mean, delivering for results for other people is what I've always done. I just never did it for myself. And so it was always an issue. But man, like, just like you said, man, this is kind of like a dream come true, because I've always wanted to do coaching. I don't know if it was live coaching, if it was going to be biblically, but I feel like God put it all into once, So this is exactly what I wanted to do. I'm excited going forward, man, just because, man, we have so many resources in Crown, man. Like, we have a marketing team, sales team, man. If you need help with your offer, if you need help with your identity mindset, if you need help with funding, we got people that in our network that can help you, but also through our Crown, just being a part of us, man. We have so many tools that we can offer to people. And so I'm excited about the different avenues and different resources that we can offer, because, man, we meet so many business owners and everyone needs different things. And so having the ability to offer those things has been a blessing. And it's all through conversation. It's all through just, hey, let's sit down, let's break bread, let's see where you're at. Let's see what God is saying in this time season. Let's see what God called you to do. And now let's get over hurdles, man. Let's talk about things that block you from going to that. Why aren't you making 6 figures? Why aren't you making 7 figures? Let's get over here. Let's talk about that. And a lot of times, man, people in business are lonely. They don't have people that they can talk to for these things, besides like their wife or their spouse or their husband, right? Man, you need brothers and sisters that do life together, that go through the same issues, so you can talk it through, but also pour into each other now. And the way we could do it physically is through our resources. And so, man, I'm just excited, because this is what I've always wanted to do, but now we have the resources to provide, and so.
Yeah, it's cool what we're crafting up, and we're almost at the kind of the finishing stages of of like building it out. So I feel like it's okay for us to talk about, right? Like everything that Joel had said, that's what you get when you do business with us. Ultimately, our goal is to help Kingdom entrepreneurs create six figures, right? To create a six-figure business. We have those positions that Joel had talked about, that where you get onboarded with us, we give you that dream team that's going to go and turn that business that you have and get you to six figures, right? And beyond, right? Because we know by elevating your business, you're able to expand your kingdom, right? That marketplace ministry is so important. So much of we have so many good intentions, but our pocketbook isn't big enough to fund those intentions. So for us, we want to help Kingdom entrepreneurs because we know that Kingdom entrepreneurs will do good with a tool like money, right? We want to put money in the hands of people that can do good with it. There's all this talk about, how bad billionaires are bad in the world, right? Like, why don't you go and be the good example, right? Like, why don't you go and do that? I mean, it starts with you. If you hate something that you see, go and do something about it. Otherwise, don't have an opinion about it. That's kind of my personal opinion, and we're that starting point. Hey, get you to six figures, and we're streamline that process for you, and we're excited to do that. And we have some incredible members on our team that are helping perform that, and we get to help pour into that mindset and completely change, the whole person concept. So excited about that.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited, man. Your life is your ministry, man. I just love that we're kind of like the middle, the mediators, man. And we're just connecting individuals, ministries together, nonprofits. Like, hey, you're struggling with this, we have a solution for you. We just connect you with this person, or we offer that. So just be able to solve problems, but helping businesses, ministries grow the right way and understand their identity. And that's what we need, especially like we talked about at the beginning, getting into the end times. Identity is crucial right now. The devil comes and tries to steal your identity, and he's going to do so even more, man, make you confused, making you questioning God. But when we're like staying with God and staying connected, we're good. But when we're together as well, we're even better, So that's what Crown is about, man, gathering people together and fixing problems in the community. And man, at the end of the day, everyone eats, man. There's no scarcity here, man. Scarcity is something that the devil created, and it's like a thought. It's something that thought, man. It's not real. God is above you.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? It goes back to got to be connected to the root if you want to get the fruit, right? Like on a branch, on a stem, there's other branches, right? Like that's the